Okay, welcome to The Secret in the Forest of Wyr, the rulebook, how it looks physically. So, we had Todd Sender's rulebook, which was in essence, let's zoom out a little bit, 4 pages of 2 columns, so 8 sections of randomly disordered things that you have to look up every time with duplicate details on things that are clear, unnecessary Finnish terminology. Maybe he is Finnish, but at least some information should be why to use these strange Finnish names. I mean, a butterfly is a butterfly. So I rewrote it, and then the next problem arose because I found out that in order to make it a proper rulebook, as I've shown in digital form, this is the physical version 1.4. Ideally, you want the rulebook to fit like so in a tuckbox, but that doesn't really work here. The tuckbox is either too small or but I don't want to make it bigger, or you end up with really small pages with hardly any information on it. So if you want a booklet like what was it called, for Northwood, for example, you have to observe a certain font size. It cannot be too small. So I made several trials, and so this would be nice, but it was too large. So I made it smaller, and this is good enough, but it doesn't really fit because you have to fold it twice, 3 times. You have to fold it 4 times, and then it fits inside of the rulebook. So it's not ideal, but it's the best I could come up with. And the A4 version that I showed you is the last version. This was a version 1.2. I wanted to print it out in booklet form, but the problem with the booklet form in my Epson is that it doesn't fit, as you can see. It's too large, and the last thing that you want to do is, well, you could of course fold this like so, because the binding of the book is on the left side, so you could do like so, but then it would still not exactly fit. It had to be a little bit smaller. Maybe I'll do that in a future version, because you can cut off, of course, the outer margins, because I like the size of the text, and it also makes it much clearer, because you have in one overview you can see both of the pages. So where is it? Yeah, it has several versions, and so I think this is the best that you can have for now, which I didn't bother to glue it, but you can glue it, of course. You can't really get much smaller than this, because there isn't much margin on either side, but yeah, so Okay, I used this. I used this wrong. I reused the page and I forgot that it would be double-sided. But in essence, you have here all the rules, including the integrated things from BGG. So yeah, what is left is, I think I have to change, or I have to add a little text about that one. So it's a failure state, right? So it should be failed state. So the one rectangle, do not fill up one void in the bottom row. If the bottom row is empty, fill up with only one slot. So I already took care of that. And it is a lingering effect. So I should add that it is lingering. The -1 and the +2 is also lingering. Yeah, and of course the scoring sheet. How do you score this? The scoring is very important for solo games. So you have the game rule modifications per goal. So the arrival of spirits is a card. The expectation of all. The bounty of gifts, and the triumph of harmony, and the triumph of strength, and the guardian of Wyr. Aside from the last two, you can play a single card, which is on top of it. So the bounty of gifts or the triumph of harmony. The A cards combine things. So what you do is you have a date, a goal card, and a result, and that's all that you need, I think. So for quest, rival, bounty, you can abbreviate with A, B, E, and try U. For the guardian of Wyr, let's see. Yeah, choose any two of the 4 basic quests and set these aside. So you have to do the combination, so A, B, A, E, A, Tria, etc. And then you know what you scored on what you played. Yeah, and also I added a color form. So the original art and rules are by Todd Sanders, and it was an entry for original BGG contest 2014. There's a free download from PNP Arcade, and I rewrote the rulebook. There's also a devlog that you should not print, but you can read this on your own. And also I discovered itch.io, where there is a lot of it was originally for crafting and then later became a site for video games, for indie designs for video games. Nowadays it is also used for board games, and I decided that since more people watch itch.io than the documents that I made for the various projects, they would be more easily findable on itch.io than on YouTube, because 2 or 3 people at most watch my videos on YouTube, and itch.io has a much broader range, so more chance for people to stumble upon a bot for Memoir, for example, Memoir 44, or Puerto Rico, or all these kinds of games that I discussed. So more people would benefit, and that's why I linked a lot of my videos to itch.io. And I think that is better, because itch.io also gives analytics, so you can see which of your games or documents have the most impact or most benefit, I should say. So it's not commercial driven, but just for my own personal fun. But it's quite involving process, because you have to make the right kind of video, the right screenshots. You have to package your documents. While in YouTube, I just throw the document into Google Drive and share the link, and don't know if anybody ever clicks download or ever even bothers to use it. So at least I get some kind of information out of that. Some things like a scoring sheet for Spropolopolis, for example, has been 0 times viewed. So there, because there is so much on itch.io. I can show the current state just for fun. This is how itch.io looks like from the back end. So you have projects. So that's you recognize all the things that I built. So resettable roguelike for 2 of Gabe Barrett's books, Salvation Road. The roguelite version that I made, the Memoir 44 Solobot, etc. Now, for analytics, you can see that people do find your document and rulebook adaptations and Solobots, etc. It's much better than BGG crap. And here you can see what happens and what is the most popular. So and there are a lot of file counts and bots that go through this all. But let's see, the most popular was Salvation Road, funnily enough. And here, One Deck Dungeon Achievement Sheet. And the last thing was the Aftermath reference guide, and the Salvation Road was actually downloaded. So this brings me a lot of joy. So somebody else found this, because I think it has